Hello all, welcome to this video series AutoCAD for Absolute Beginners. So if you are going to learn AutoCAD for the first time, this is a good place to start your AutoCAD learning. Basically, AutoCAD is a widely used software, mostly used by architects and engineers and other professionals as well. Inside this video, you will be learning how to create an Autodesk account and download AutoCAD through it, and then we will be understanding the AutoCAD interface, then basic operations, and after basic operations we will do some drafting practice exercises to know how to use basic AutoCAD operations. Then we will look at layer management and AutoCAD blocks and annotating the objects, how to measure dimensions and adding text to objects. Then finally we will plot a AutoCAD drawing. So all these things are prepared for a beginner in AutoCAD. After learning the basic things, you can master the software by learning more advanced things and do more complex operations using AutoCAD. In this video, we are going to look at how to download free softwares from Autodesk website. So if you are a student or an educator, you can download Autodesk softwares for free. So in your browser, just type free software Autodesk. First you need to go to Autodesk Education and Student Access. You have to click here. Then you will get a window like this. If you scroll down, you will find AutoCAD. So you have to find the required one, AutoCAD or AutoCAD for Mac. So I'm using this one, AutoCAD for Windows. So go to Get Started here. First what we need is we need to create an account. So you have to create the account and you can type your country, you can type your education role, student, educator, or like that. Then you can type your institution type. So after giving all these things and giving your detail, if you can verify your education role, Autodesk will give you 1 year free access to the softwares. So there you can download any Autodesk softwares for free and you can work it for 1 year. So that is how you can download Autodesk software for free. So after installing AutoCAD on your PC or laptop, you will get this kind of desktop shortcut. So in my case, I have AutoCAD 2023 English version. So to open AutoCAD, you have to double click. You have to double click this icon. It will start opening AutoCAD. So after some time, it will come to the welcome screen where you open the software for the first time. So if you have already opened AutoCAD and if you have already opened some drawings, they will be listed out here. So to open up a new drawing, you can go to this new. So if you have already created drawing, you can open them using this open option. Since we don't have any earlier drawings, I am going to open a new drawing. I click here. So it will open a new drawing. So once you start working on a drawing, you can save that drawing time to time. So to save a drawing for the first time, you can go to this save icon from the quick access toolbar. So by default, I get the drawing name as drawing1.dwg. So you can use whatever the name you like. and also from this menu you can browse to the desired location you like to save your drawing. And also you can see the files of type here. You have currently AutoCAD 2018 drawing. So once you save this drawing in this mode, from 2018 to 2023, whatever the version you use, this drawing can be open without any problem. So if you use AutoCAD 2017, this drawing may be open but it will not function as desirable, right? So I am going to save this, and now I can start drafting. So when you are drafting, make sure you are saving the drawing time to time. So if you want to save this with another drawing name, you can go to save as option. So if it is on this quick access toolbar, you can use this option. If it is in the otherwise, you can go to the application menu and go to save as option to get the drawing changed to another location or with a different name. So that is about opening a new drawing and saving it. So from here onwards, we will see how to work with AutoCAD. In this, we are going to learn about the AutoCAD interface. Once you open a new drawing, you will have this kind of interface. So on your top left, you have application menu. So if you click your application menu, you will have set of icons here. So you can open a new drawing, you can open an existing drawing, you can save as drawings, import, export drawing related things, and publish and print the drawings. So you can do lot more things through this application menu browser. Then there you have the lastly open drawings here. There are a list of drawings. It will show up to 10 drawings here. So if you want to keep a drawing for a long time, you can click this thumbtack icon. So it will be there as long as you uncheck this one. So in here you can search about commands from the AutoCAD software. So if I search for circle command, it will show everything about the circle command, where you can access and what you can do. Then after that, at the top here you can have the quick access toolbar. They are the tools that can be accessed quickly. So you can quickly open a new drawing, quickly open an existing drawing, quickly save as drawing. These things are related to mobile content. This is for plotting your drawing. This is undo and redo. So here you have some kind of icon here. If you click here, you can control what should be there in this quick access toolbar. So if I want to remove this open from web and mobile and save to web and mobile, I can uncheck these options. So it will be unchecked. If you want to add more things here, you can add from here. So again, you can share your drawings with others using this option. These are kind of new options in AutoCAD. Then if you move on to here, this is the workspace we are working on. In between this quick access toolbar and the workspace, you have this area, we are calling it the ribbon. So in this ribbon, you have separate tabs. This is home tab, this is insert tab, this is annotate tab, this is parametric tab. Likewise, you have so many tabs. So if you go onto one tab, you have in each tab you have something called panels. Inside these panels you have various options where you can launch a command and other tools where you can do most of the things in AutoCAD. In these panels you have flyouts and you can access more commands from here, and if you click these flyouts you can access so many commands related to that option. So if you want to create a circle, you have so many options where you can create a circle. If you want to create an arc, there are so many options where you can create an arc. So that is about the home tab, and likewise you have so many things in other tabs as well. So then you have at the bottom, you have here the status bar. There are several things in this status bar. If you click your mouse cursor, it will show you what is there. Here it is grid mode, here it is snap mode, here this is auto, and likewise you have so many options where you can turn on and off. So you can customize these options through this customization menu. So if you want to, you can click this grid toolbar. It will remove this grid icon from the status bar. So if I click here, the grid access will be gone. So if I want to take it back, I have to click here again. Likewise, you can turn on and off according to your needs the customization tools. Then you have one of the most important things here, which is the command line, where you do most of the things in AutoCAD. You can launch commands and do so many things through this command line. This is where you, a user, communicate with AutoCAD, that is through the command bar. Then you have this search bar here. This is kind of a web browser, so you can type in anything here, and let us say as earlier we will type circle here. Now if you open, it will give you AutoCAD help here, and it will give you so many things about the help, not only about the command but so many things related to the term help, like a web browser. So you can close it here. Then you have the sign in options here. You can sign into your Autodesk account from here. Apart from that, you can close your drawing here. Also, if you double click this A icon or application menu, double click this application menu, you can close the drawing. Then finally, you have this view cube, and you have this viewport controls here. So we are not going to learn much about that under this beginners tutorials. And lastly, you have the model tab here, where we do our drafting. Then you have the layout tab and layout tab too. Here you can get a basic understanding about the AutoCAD interface. Before doing any AutoCAD work, we will modify or customize our status bar. So currently you can see some status bar icons turned on. This light blue color means these are turned on. So we have to make sure that all these icons are turned off before we proceed. So to turn off these icons or deactivate these things, I will click once on here. So it will diminish the light blue color. So I will do the same for all these things. If you like, you can make it without turning off this grid mode. If you turn off the grid, it will turn off the grid in the workspace. If you want to see it throughout your work, you can keep it on. Now we are going to draw some objects in AutoCAD. So to draw some objects here, I am going to Home tab. So at the leftmost you have line. So it will trigger the line command. So if I click here, so it is asking on the command line, specify a point, specify first point. So I will click somewhere here. Make sure you are left clicking. Then it will start to draw a line. So I will draw some line here. Again I will continue to draw that some kind of lines. Then I press enter to finish that. So after you finish it, the command bar will be empty. So then we will again click on the circle here, circle icon. So there are some drop down options, but without going to drop down options, we will click directly on this icon. So we'll select the circle. Then it is asking, please specify a center point. So I will specify the center point like here. Now when you drag your mouse cursor out of the center area, you will see a curve is drawing. So I'll click somewhere here to stop the formation of the circle. Now our circle is formed. Then I am going to here, this rectangle one. I click here. So I click somewhere here. Then I click somewhere here at the bottom to end the command. So now you can see you have some lines, you have a circle, and you have a rectangle. So we have created few objects using AutoCAD. After drawing some basic objects, now we are going to learn about the basic mouse operations. So if you working with AutoCAD or AutoCAD related softwares, definitely you need to have a mouse. Especially you need to have a mouse with a mouse wheel. So you have the mouse. Inside your mouse you have left click, right click and mouse wheel. So if you left click any of the object, it will select the object. So if you left click again on another object, it will select that object as well. So if you select this one, it will select this as well. So if you select this one, it will select this as well. Or that means they will be add up all together. So if you want to deselect everything, you can press escape. Then if you select any object and right click, you will get object related menu here. So you can do some basic operations here. We will see them later. So that is about right click menu. Then I press escape twice to deselect this one as well. So the most important part of the mouse operation is the mouse wheel. So using the mouse wheel, you can zoom in and zoom out. So if you place the mouse cursor here and scroll your mouse wheel, it will zoom in. So if you scroll the mouse wheel out, it will zoom out by centering the mouse cursor location. Then if I zoom in here, I can zoom this one. Right. Then you have another thing called panning. Panning means, I will zoom out a little bit here. So panning means we are pressing the mouse wheel and holding it. Pressing the mouse wheel and holding it, you will get a hand-like icon here. Now you can drag it here and there. So it will not zoom in or zoom out, but it will change the position of the object. So this is like you are dragging a paper, like so you can do panning here. So also you can access panning from here as well. So if you click here, so you can do the panning by just left clicking without pressing the mouse wheel button. Using left clicking you can pan. So you have to press escape to exit that one. So you have two options to do panning. One is pressing and hold mouse wheel. The other one is getting to pan from here, this navigation bar. So I press escape. So if you double click the mouse wheel, it will do something called zoom extend. So it will zoom everything into this window working area. So we call it zoom extend. So if you zoom out and double click the mouse wheel, it will zoom extend. I will zoom out again, and if you click here, that is also zoom extend from the navigation bar. It will do the zoom extend, same as double clicking the mouse wheel. So that is about basic mouse operations in AutoCAD. Now we are going to talk about AutoCAD selection methods. There are three methods of selecting object in AutoCAD. One is window selection, the other one is crossing selection, and the final one is lasso selection. So for the window selection, you have to click your mouse button, left mouse button at the left side, and after clicking you have to the right side. So you will get a blue color window. everything that is completely inside this window will be selected. You can see some lines are getting selected. Here you can see some lines are getting selected. Now if I come to here, you can see everything which is inside the blue color window is getting selected. So once I press left click again, they will be selected. So I press escape. Then if you do the same from bottom to top, you will get the same result like that. So everything inside that blue color box will be selected. So I press escape again. So the other selection method is crossing window selection. That is from right to left. So if I click on right side and move my cursor to the left, everything that touches the window, this green color window, will be selected. This window is a dashed line window, so it is a green color window. Everything that touches window will be selected. So if I move further left side, you can see the line is also now selected. Now both line and circle is selected. So I press escape. If you do the same from bottom to top, that is the same result. Everything that touches the window getting selected. Unlike the earlier option, this time everything that touches the window getting selected. The next one is the lasso selection. This lasso selection is kind of a goofy selection. So let us say if you select this, if you click this mouse button, left click this mouse button and you click and hold, so you can see it is kind of a random like selection. It is acting same as window selection and crossing selection, but the selection line is kind of a goofy line. So if I click somewhere here, it is nothing is getting selected because nothing is inside the circle. There was one selected because it was inside the circle. I press escape. Then again I will do a complete circle here. Try to do a complete circle. No, you can see that line only getting selected. So if you go the other way from right to left, that is the crossing window through lasso selection. If I do this like this, you can see everything that touches will be selected. So when you are going to select objects, this lasso selection may also be useful, right? So that is about object selections. Let us say while selecting some objects, you have to deselect some other objects. So I press escape at this moment. Let us say I select all these things. Select all these things. So I selected all these things. So let us say I want to remove this circle from the selection. To do that, you have to press your shift key and select this object. So it will be deselected. If you want to deselect this one as well, while pressing shift key, select that object. It will be deselected. So if you want to add anything to this selection, you can click here and add, or you can do a crossing window selection. Otherwise, you can click the object. So those are the methods to select objects in AutoCAD. Now we are going to learn about object snaps in Civil 3D. So to do that, I will move them to a separate area. So to do that, I will press and hold my mouse button to pan. So I will move them away from the screen, and now my screen is clear for more drafting works. So first I will click this rectangle button to create a rectangle. So I will create a rectangle here. Then let's suppose we need a line from the midpoint of this line to midpoint of this line. So we don't know how to catch the midpoint. So to get the midpoint exactly, you have to turn on what we call object snaps. So you can access it from here. So you can see at the bottom it says object snaps is given by F3 key also. So you can either press this button or also you can press F3 key on your keyboard. So if you click this arrow here, it will give a list of available snaps. That means this check marks is for the available snaps. So it will catch the endpoint, it will catch the midpoint, it will catch the center, it will catch the intersection, it will catch the perpendicular point. So what we need is the midpoint. So it is available here. So now I am going to initiate the line command. I click here. Now if I move the mouse cursor here, it will automatically snap to the midpoint. It will give me a note as it is the midpoint. So I start this line and come to here, it will show me my midpoint is selected at the other side. So I will click here. Then I press enter to close that command. So then I will create a circle from here, from the midpoint of this line, the line we created. So I will click that one as well. So I have a circle here. Then I will initiate another line command. So this time I will cache the endpoint. So if I come here, it will show me I have cached the endpoint, and I will come to here and get the perpendicular point. So it will show me this is the perpendicular point. So I press here to get the perpendicular point, and I press enter to stop the command or finish the command. So let us say we need to do the same to this side as well. So instead of going from here, I can press space bar. So it will launch the last command. So if I press space bar, it will launch the last command, which is the line command. So I come to this endpoint and click here to get the perpendicular snap and press enter to end the command. So now I am going to create a circle from this intersection point of this circle and this line. So I will click here. So I need to get to the intersection point. So it is here, intersection. So if you are not getting the correct snap, you can press your tab key. So it will jump through the available snap options. Now it is the intersection. If I click here, it will move to the perpendicular option. If you press tab again, it will move to the center. If you press tab again, it will move to the center and the midpoint of that line. So likewise, you can move to various options. So I will move until I get the correct one. So now I have got the one I require. So I click, I have a small circle from here, right? So it is now snapping to a line. So you need to make sure that is not snapping to another line before finishing, right? Now if you click here, it will snap to a perpendicular line, but if you move further away, it will not snap. Now I can stop the command. I will click here. So I will do the same to this side. So to initiate that one, I will press space bar and I click here. Now it is the perpendicular one. I press tab. I press tab once again. Now it is the intersection. So I have another circle here. So that is about object snaps. So if you need to turn on or try the other object snaps, you can try with your own. So some of these are most basic object snaps. So we will do some more object snap practice now. So now I am going to create another circle. I will start somewhere here and it will be a small circle, right? So let us say I need to create a line from this point to this side, but it should stop on top of this center point of this curve. So to do that, you need to do something like this. You need to click object snap tracking. So that is on F11 key. The shortcut key is F11. So I'll click here. So I am going to initiate the line command. First I will snap to the endpoint where I start the line. Now I want the line to be right over top of this center line. So what I do is I will snap to the center. I will not click here, just snap to the center. Now I will go upward. It will give you a tracking line. So if you go upwards like this, when the tracking lines, this left tracking line and right tracking line meets together, it will give you that point. So I can click here. Now I have found my point. I press enter. So I do the same to the bottom side as well. To initiate the line command, I will press space bar. So I start from here. Now I am going to this way. Now I have to get this center point. I am not clicking, just hold the mouse there. Now I am coming downwards. When the two snaps are connected, it will show me the point. So I will click here to stop the command. Then I press enter, or otherwise you can press space bar as well. Now let us say we need another line start from here and to be tangent to this circle. One line from this side, another line from this side. So if this object snap, so we need to turn on the tangent object snap, this one. So I am going to tell you a way without turning on the object snap where we can use that object snap. So if it is a rarely used object snaps, instead of turning on the object snap, you can turn on, or you can use object snap overrides. So I will press line to initiate the line command. So I will start it from here. Now I need to get the tangent point. So what I do is I press and hold my shift key and right click. Press and hold my shift key and right click. Then it will give you the same object snap options. Now from here I will use the tangent option and I will click here and it will show the tangent point. So I will get the tangent and stop the command by pressing enter. So I will do the same to the other side. Go to this point and I will shift, right click, then and go to tangent point and click this tangent point and press enter to finish the command. So we are using the object snap overrides which we have done at the last part only where we use very rarely, right? If you are using, or if you are always using endpoint snap, you have to turn on the endpoint snap from here. But if you are not using, let us say, tangent point more often, you can use object snap overrides to get that point instead of turning it. So that is about object snap tracking, and finally the object snap overrides. Now we are going to look at the auto function. So I will pan my drawing and make my area clear. So let us say we need to start a line. So I click this line command here. So I start the line. So let us say we need to get this line perfectly horizontal to this side, right? So how to get that? That is where we need auto option in AutoCAD. So to access that one, you can press this auto mode in the status bar, or otherwise you can press F8 key on your keyboard. So I will press here. So once I press auto mode, it will only function lines at x-axis or y-axis. Like here, in this direction it is x-axis. In this direction it is y-axis. You can only draw lines or any object in x-axis direction or y-axis direction. So I start the line and I will click somewhere here. So if you want to do some more lines with this command, you can go either horizontal, otherwise you can go vertical directions. You can't go angle directions like earlier. So with the auto mode, you can only go in X direction or Y direction. So I will click here again to have a line, and I will click here again to have another line. So here, if the object snaps are turned on, you can finish with the end line, but other than that you cannot go anywhere except horizontal and vertical direction. So I will press escape to end the command. So we will do it one more time. I start the command. So I want to go this way, completely horizontal direction. I go this way. Let us say I go downward, and I can go this way. So I can go this way, but anyway you are going horizontal or vertical direction. So that is what is happening if you turn on auto mode. So if you want to turn it back off, you can either press F8 key, otherwise you can click this button to turn off the auto mode. So we press escape now to end the command. Now we are going to look at a function or object snap related to the angles of lines or polylines in AutoCAD. So I will pan my drawing to the right side. So first I will draw a circle. So I go to circle command, click here, then I create my circle. Right. Now I am going to start a line. So I start the line command. Now I want to start this line from the center of this circle. Since my object snap is turned on, when I click here, it will automatically highlight the center object snap. So I will click now. Even though I click at my mouse location, it will highlight to the center. So when I click here, the line will start at center. So currently my auto is turned on. So since it is giving me problems, I will turn off from here. Now I am going to create a line to the perimeter of this circle. Now I make it perpendicular to the circle and stop the line and press enter to end the command. So let us say I need another line, or I need to divide this circle into 30-degree increments. 30-degree increments by creating lines like this. So in AutoCAD, by default, the angles are considered in anti-clockwise direction. So since this is your x-axis, your angles will be positive, considered positive in this direction. We haven't talked about the AutoCAD units yet. When we are talking about the AutoCAD units, we will learn more about the angle and measurement units. But for the sake of this completion, we assume that our angles are positive in anti-clockwise direction. So I will initiate the command. Now there is no way for us to measure the angles here. We don't know currently how to measure the angles. So to do that one, to get the object snaps at angles, there is a special object snap called polar tracking. So you can access that by F10 key, otherwise you can click this polar tracking option. So if I come here, it will automatically snap to the 30-degree angles now. Now you can see in the tooltip it is giving us 30 degree. So when I click here, since I have intersection snap turned on, it will automatically intersect the circle at 30-degree angle. So I press enter. So I want to do it again to this side. So instead of going here, I will press space bar to relaunch the recent last command. So I click here. Now it will automatically highlight the 60-degree angle. So I press enter or press space bar to close the command. I start it again back here. Now it is completely 90 degrees. So likewise you can continue until you completely do this thing. Right, now I completed that. So this is where we can use polar tracking option to measure, actually to snap to angles. So if you click this arrow icon here, you will see what are the options you have. Currently we use this 30, 60, 90, 120, like 30-degree increment angle. So if you want to use some other kind of angle increment, you can use this one. If you want to go 10, 20, 30 likewise, you can use this option. You can click this one and activate that option. So it will snap to angles 10, 20 likewise. So that is how to use the polar tracking option in AutoCAD. Now we are going to look at some widely used AutoCAD commands. Here we have some AutoCAD commands: move, copy, rotate and mirror. So to practice this command, first I will draw a line from here. I click here and I want this line to be vertical. So I turn on my auto and I relaunch the command line and I draw this line and press enter. Then I will have a small rectangle somewhere here. Alright. So let us say we want to move this rectangle from this edge to this edge. So this edge would be coincide to this edge. So to do that, we will use move command. So to launch the move command, you go here in home tab, you have move. You click here, then it is asking on the command line, select object. What are the objects you need to move? So you need to select this object. Either you can click here, otherwise you can select it like this. Then you have to press enter. After selecting the object, you have to press enter, otherwise you can right click. So I will right click. Then it is asking the base point of the move. So we want to move this point to this point. So if your object snaps are on, you can easily move, snap to the end point. So my end object snaps are turned on. So I will snap to this end point. Then it is asking what is the second point. Now I will, since it auto is on, I will turn off auto for the moment. Now it is asking what is the second point or where you need to move. So I will click this endpoint and it will move to that endpoint. Now this has been moved and it is looking like a flag. So I will pan to the left side to get some space on the right side. Now we will use copy command to copy these things to the right side. So I will launch the copy command here. Then it is asked to select the objects. So we have two objects here. I will do a crossing window selection, the green color window selection. So I select the objects. Now after selecting, I will right click to confirm. Then like earlier, it is asking for a base point. There are some other options also you can try, but I will go with the basic option. So I will select this endpoint as my base point. And it is asking where you need to have the copy. So if you want to go in a straight line, you can turn on auto. Since my object snap tracking is on, it is also going on the straight line. So I will do some copies here. So while you are going right side, you can even pan. That is also easy. So if the space is not enough, you can pan, otherwise you can zoom out also. Right. Now I will right click to end the copy. So let us say I need this rectangle to have as a copy on the other side. So you need to have same rectangle to the other side. So since you don't know the dimensions, it is little bit cumbersome at this stage. So at this kind of situation, we use the command called mirror. So it is like a mirror because it is the complete opposite side of a mirror. Inside the mirror, you can see the complete opposite what is in front of the mirror. So I will launch the mirror command. So it's asking like earlier, select the objects. I will select this object, then right click to confirm. Then it is asking the first point of the mirror line. That means you have to specify a mirror line or specify a mirror. So first I will select this endpoint and I will move right on top on a vertical line and select the second point. Now mirror is confirmed. Then it is asking on the command line whether you want to erase the source object. That means after mirroring, do you want to delete this object? So we don't want to delete this object. We need to keep that object. So we say no. You can click here no. Otherwise it is already selected no. So I will select no here. Otherwise you can press enter. Either case. So I will press no here. Now it is now mirrored to the other side. Then we will do some work with rotate command. Let us say we need to rotate this flag 90 degrees, or without considering the number of degrees, let us say we need to rotate this object, complete thing. So I will launch my rotate command. Then it is asking on the command line to select the object. So this time I will, using a crossing window, I will select the objects and press enter. Then it is asking the base point from where you want to rotate. So I will say I want to rotate from here. Then it is, you can specify a rotation angle. Otherwise, if you move the mouse cursor around, it will automatically rotate. So let us say I want to stop it somewhere here, right, like that. So we will do another rotation. This time I will rotate this one. Select the object and right click. This time I will rotate from here. So if I rotate, so it will automatically rotate from that object. You can see, even you can give an angle here, but since we haven't used the angle options yet, I am not going to give an angle. So instead of that, we will just use the mouse cursor location to rotate the get the rotation angle. So I will, let us say I will stop somewhere here. So that is about some of the basic AutoCAD commands, and always they are used widely. Now we are going to look at two more commands in AutoCAD, that is stretch command and scale command. So first of all, we will create a rectangle. So I go here, click here to create a rectangle. Now I create my rectangle. Right. Now let us see, we need to stretch this rectangle to this side. So this is how to use stretch option to stretch this rectangle to this side. So I click this stretch command. Now you need to select this object because it is in the command line, it is asked to select the objects. You need to select the object through a crossing window. So in that selection, you need to highlight which side you need to stretch. So you are stretching to this side, so you have to select this in this way, right? So after selecting, press right click. Then it is asking for a base point. So we will stretch from here. So now you can see it is stretching to that side. So that is how to use the stretch command. We will do it one more time. So this time I will stretch to this side. So I will launch the stretch command. Then I select the object. Then right click. Select this base point. And now it is stretching to this side. Right. Now next we will see what is the scale command. Let us say we need to change this rectangle to a scale of 2. That means we will create a rectangle that is twice bigger than this one. So for that one we can use scale command. So I click here. Then it is asking to select the object. I will select my object. Now I press right click, and for the base point I will select this point. Now when I move my mouse cursor, it will show the object is scaling or shrinking. So if I type my scale factor as 2, it will give you a rectangle twice bigger than the earlier one. So I will zoom out and you can see a rectangle which is twice bigger than the earlier rectangle. So that is how to use stretch command and scale command in AutoCAD. Now we are going to look at trim and extend command in AutoCAD. So before moving on to the commands, I will create some objects in my drawing area. So I move on to polyline command. So first I am drawing a polyline from down to upward, and now moving to the east direction and press enter. So this is the first time we are using the polyline command. So it is same like the line command but little bit different. So then I will create another polyline, start from here and stop somewhere here and go into the west direction, and so press enter to stop. So let us suppose we need to cut off these extra line parts here. So for that task we will use trim command in AutoCAD, the trim command. So I click here. So the trim command and extend command is little bit different in the newer versions of AutoCAD. 2021 version, they have modified the trim and extend commands. So you have to use the mode here and make sure you are using the quick mode when you are doing this work. So I am using the quick mode. So then you can click here, it will automatically trim off or cut off the extra line part here. So I will press enter to finish the command. So now let us look at how to use extend command. So assume that we need to extend this line up to this point. So we need extend command. So in the home tab we go extend, and without doing anything we have to use this line. It will automatically extend to the other line, and I can press enter to finish the command. So that is how you can use extend command. So we have another extra line extending here. So you need to trim off this line. So to do that I can use trim command and trim here and press enter to finish the command. But there is another easy way to do all these things at once. So let us look at how to do that one. So I will press undo until I get the initial things. Like here, I press undo, Control Z, otherwise you can go from here. So now I launch the trim command again. So make sure you are in the quick mode. Now I am in the quick mode and I press here. It will delete the extra line, and here also when I click it will delete the extra line part. And now what I am going to do is I am going to extend this part. So without going to the extend command, I will press and hold my shift key on my keyboard and click this line. It will automatically extend to the other part. Now I click this one. It will automatically trim off that extra part. So that is how you do trim and extend both at once. So if you start the trim command, you can get the extend by shift key, and if you start with the extend command, you can get the trim by pressing shift key. So that is how you can use extend and trim commands in AutoCAD. Now we are going to learn some more AutoCAD commands. They are fillet, chamfer, offset and explode. So before initiating the command, I will create a rectangle. From here I am going to create rectangle. I click here, then I draw my rectangle here. It's a fairly large one. So let us say I want to curve this edge. So for that one we use the fillet command. So we click this fillet option. First of all, I need this kind of a curved shape here. First I need to define the radius here. What kind of radius I am going to use. So let us say this radius is 20 units. So we haven't set up the units here yet. We haven't talked about the units. Just we think we have 20 unit radius here. So now I type my unit radius as 20 units. I press enter. Then I select my first object. It's asking to select the first object. I select my first object. Then I will select my second object. So it will automatically fillet these two lines with a curve, a radius of 20 units. So I will do the same to the other side as well. To relaunch the last command, I will press space bar. So first I will select this option. Now I don't want to select the radius because it is already in the memory of AutoCAD. So that 20 unit radius is already in the memory of AutoCAD. So I will click here. Automatically it will add a radius of 20 units to connect these two lines. So that is about connecting the curved shape, connecting the edges with a curved shape. So now we will look at the chamfer command. Chamfer, right? This time what happens here is it will connect by a small line section. So I will click chamfer. So it is asking the first line. I will select the first line and it is asking the second line. So I have to use a distance or angle to set up this chamfer. So I will have a distance here. Let us say this distance is 10 units and press enter. So now I will select the second line. Press enter to finish the distance and I will select the second line. So it will connect these two lines by another line with distance of 10 meters. So I will do the same to the other side. I press space bar. So it will launch the last command. I will select this first line and my distance measurement is already in the memory. So I will select the second line. So it will chamfer with a line of 10 meter distance. That is how to use chamfer and fillet commands in AutoCAD. Now we are going to look at offset command in AutoCAD. So before that we will create a rectangle. So I have access rectangle option here and create a rectangle. So let us see, I want to have another rectangle exactly 20 meter from this rectangle, outside 20 meter. So this is where we need the offset command. So I access the offset command from here. Offset command, I click here. It is asking what is the offset distance. So we are offsetting 20 unit distance. So I type 20 unit. This 20 unit may be 20 millimeters, 20 meters, 20 centimeters, 20 feet, 20 inches, like that, because it depends on the units on your drawing. So if your drawing units is millimeters, it will be 20 millimeters. If your drawing unit is meters, it will be 20 meters, like that. So I press enter after entering 20. So it is asking what is the object you need to offset. So I select this object. Now then it is asking to which side you want to offset. If I want to offset to the outside, so I click outside. You have to click outside, then it will offset to the outside. So if you want to offset this one to another 20 units, you can click it and go outside again. You will get another rectangle with a 20 meter offset. So if you want to go inside, you can click this rectangle and click inside. It will give you another rectangle with 20 units inside to the initial rectangle. So finally, I will press enter to finish the command. So that is how to use the offset command in AutoCAD. Now we are going to look at the explode command in AutoCAD. So that is also one of the widely used command, the explode command. So let us say what is done using the explode command. So if I select this rectangle, you can see the whole thing is getting selected. So I press escape. If I select the other rectangle, you can see same thing happens because whole thing getting selected. So same thing is happening to the other rectangles as well. So when you are selecting, all the things will be selected at once. All these lines will be selected at once. So I press escape now. Let us say you want to divide or explode this rectangle or this. To make this rectangle where you can select these individual lines. This is where we need the explode command. So we are disjoining or ungrouping these lines so that we can select them one by one. So you can access explode from here in the home tab, explode. Then once you click it, it is asking what is the object you need to explode. It may be one object or it may be multiple objects. Let us say we are going to explode all these objects to single units. So to do that, I select all these rectangles using a crossing window. Then I press enter. So all the things will be exploded. Now you can verify it by clicking them. Once you click them, now you will not select a rectangle, you will only select an individual line. So if I select this one, it will be an individual line. I press escape, then I select this one, it is an individual line. Now that connection like a rectangle is gone, now they are individual entities. So this is where we need the explode command in AutoCAD. Here we are going to look at some widely used but we already known command, which is the erase command. Erase command is used to delete or erase objects in AutoCAD drawings. So to get the erase command or to erase something from your AutoCAD screen, there are several ways. One way is you can use the erase command. The other way is you can simply use the delete button on your keyboard. So if I want to delete this line, I can select this line and press delete in my keyboard. So if you want to delete all three lines, you can select all three lines at once and press delete. So this is one way of deleting in AutoCAD. The other way is deleting by the erase command. So to access erase command, you need to go to here in the home tab. You have this erase option. So it is asking select object to erase. So you have to select that object and it will be automatically erased. So once you can select everything you need to erase, otherwise you can use crossing windows like this. After finishing, you can press enter, then everything will be getting deleted from the screen. That is how we use erase command in AutoCAD. Now we are going to look at the array command in AutoCAD. So before launching the array command, we will first create a small rectangle. Right, now I have created a rectangle. So let us say we need the same rectangle 5 times to this side and 5 times to the vertical side. So to do this in once, we use the array command in AutoCAD. So you can access array command here. You click here, rectangular array, that is the thing you get. And it is asking first select the object. So once you select the object and press enter, it will automatically give you some suggestions as an array. So you can modify it if you are not satisfied with that. So it says you have 4 columns and 3 rows. You have 4 columns and 3 rows. So let us say we need 5 columns and 5 rows. So you have to type 5 here and 5 here. So you have 5 columns and 5 rows. So this is the spacing between these rows and between these columns. Let us say we need spacing 70 meter spacing, and it will, you can see automatically or dynamically it is updating. Let us say this is 50. So between rows 50 meter distance, it will automatically update. So after that you can press enter when you are satisfied with the array. So this is kind of a scenario where you have a seating arrangement or desk arrangement in a hall. So this is where we use array command in AutoCAD. AutoCAD commands, that is break and join. So to access them, you need to go to this modify panel. So you need to expand this modify panel. There you have this join and break commands. So break, there is 2 options, break and break at point, and join, there is only 1 command here. So we will be using break at point command and the join command here. So currently I have a polyline here. So when you select this polyline, you can see it is getting selected. So first I will break this polyline into 2. So I go to this modify panel, expand it here. So if you want to make it, so once you move the mouse cursor out, it will shrink. So to make it appear all the time, you can click this thumbtack icon here, so it will be appearing all the time. So I use this command break at point. I use this option. So I will select somewhere, anywhere on this line. So to select any point on this line, you have to use the nearest snap option. Otherwise it is only snapping to the end point, center point and the other end point. So to get the nearest snap, I will use object snap overrides. I will shift and right click, press shift and right click and access to nearest here. Now I can select any location in the line. So I will select somewhere here and it will break this polyline into 2. So it is selecting from this side one part and on the other side we will have another part. This is how to break a polyline or even a line or even an AutoCAD object through the break at point command. I am not going to use it, but if you want to use this option, it will break with a small gap in between. So now I am going to join these lines, join these two lines. So I will use the join command here. So once you click it, it is asking to select the objects. So you can select one by one, otherwise you can select all the objects where you want to connect. So I will select all these objects where I want to connect. Then I press enter. Now it will become one polyline. There will be a small grip here, we call them grips. There will be a small grip where the joining happen. So that is how to use break and join commands in AutoCAD. All this time we used to access commands through the ribbon. To initiate a command, we click this option. If you need to create a line, we click this option. If you need to create a polyline, we click this option. So we initiate all the commands through the ribbon. But in AutoCAD, you can use the command line to initiate these commands. Sometimes it will be easier than going through this ribbon process. So we will be looking at what are the shortcut keys to initiate these commands in AutoCAD through the command line. So I will be doing some of these commands, but in the description of the video I will attach a list of commands you can access through the command line with a shortcut key. So to initiate the line command, you need to type L on your command line and press enter. So it will let you draw a line. So after that you can press enter. If you want to create a polyline, the command line shortcut is PL. It will give you polyline. It will automatically show PL means polyline. PL line means polyline. So you type PL and press enter. So it will let you create a polyline. Right? Then press enter. Let us say you want to create a circle here. Instead clicking the ribbon, we will type C on your command line and press enter. Then it will let you create a circle. So let us say you need to create an arc here. So I am going to create an arc here. We haven't, I think, done this earlier. You can use this by A command. A stands for arc. Then I will click for the start point, then click for a middle point somewhere in the middle, and then click for a final point to create the arc, that is a 3-point arc. So let us say you want to create a rectangle now. Instead of going through the ribbon, you can type REC and press enter. It will let you create a rectangle. Then let us say you want to move this rectangle object somewhere away. So to do that, instead of going through the ribbon, you can type M and press enter. So it will let you move the command. This is the same thing we did in the move command. Let us say we need to copy this rectangle to somewhere here. So you cannot this time type C for copy, because we type C for circle. For copy you need to type CO. So you can type CO and press enter. Then you can select the object and select a base point and do the copy and press enter for a final time to end the command. So then for stretch you have to type STR. For scale you have to type S. For trim you have to type TR. Fillet F. Array AR. Then offset you have to type O. For explode you have to type EX. Likewise you can use the command line shortcut keys to launch the commands through the command bar instead of going through the ribbon. So that is about accessing the commands through the command line. So I am attaching a resource file where you can get most of the command line shortcuts to initiate the commands in AutoCAD.